Hi nostalgic home cooks! Today I'm in the kitchen making a rich and creamy butternut squash soup.
This luxuriously rich soup doesn't shy away from decadent ingredients, and you can tell because the taste and texture is beyond delicious.
A quintessential fall soup and the perfect recipe to use up your butternut squash harvest from the garden. This recipe is only made with simple ingredients to let each one shine with their own natural delicious flavors. This recipe was originally given to me from the chef of a steakhouse where this creamy butternut squash soup gets rave reviews every autumn, and I knew I couldn't leave without the recipe.
So let's get into the kitchen. This is how I make a rich and creamy butternut squash soup.
The first thing I'm going to do is prepare my butternut squash. I'm going to remove the stem and then try to cut it in half as equally as possible. This is always my biggest challenge. Scoop out the seed area from both halves and then place them on a baking sheet. Drizzle the flesh side with a little bit of oil. Now I'm going to roast my squash skin side up in a preheated 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius oven for 45 minutes or until the inside of the squash is very tender. Set this aside to cool enough so that you can easily handle it. While I'm waiting, I'm going to prepare the rest of the veggies. I'm going to dice 2 ribs of celery. I'm using the ribs closer to the center of the celery stalk because I like their sweeter flavor for this soup. And don't shy away from adding in the leaves, these are also packed with flavor. Dice 1 shallot or half an onion, 2 carrots, and mince 3 cloves of garlic. Don't worry too much about having the perfectly cut veggies here. These are all going to be pureed into the soup at the end. To a preheated medium-high pot or Dutch oven, add in about a tablespoon of oil. I'm going to fry all the veggies up just to give them a little bit of caramelized color. This is going to add more flavor to my soup. Now I can stir in 6 cups of stock. Vegetable or chicken stock works great for this soup. Reduce the temperature to low, cover and allow this to bubble away while we prepare the squash. Now that my squash is cool enough to touch, I'm going to scoop out all of the soft flesh and add this to my pot. If the squash was quite large and you have more than can be covered by the liquid, just add a little bit of water. Now I'm going to simmer my soup covered for 30 minutes or until all of the vegetables are very tender. Remove from the heat and puree the entire mixture. I have an immersion blender here because I can use it easily in this hot soup, and cleanup is quick and easy, which is always a plus. However, you can just as easily use a food processor or blender for this job. Just make sure to cool the soup slightly first. Now that my soup is smooth and creamy, I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, a half a teaspoon of ground cloves, and 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. Stir this mixture into the soup and it's immediately going to taste of warm fall flavors and smell amazing. Give the soup a taste and season with salt and pepper. I'm going to add quite a bit of salt here, but you may need more or less, especially depending on the sodium content of the broth. Finally, stir in 3/4 to a cup of heavy cream. This is going to make the soup over the top creamy and delicious. And if you want it to be extremely silky smooth and creamy, you can use the stick blender again to incorporate the cream into the soup. Serve this creamy, hearty butternut squash soup with a side of your favorite bread for the perfect warm and cozy fall meal. Enjoy! If you're a fan of deliciously simple vintage recipes and old-fashioned skills, then you'll want to check out this next video. Thanks for stopping by.